Good morning, everybody, and it's wonderful to be back. It's Elizabeth Smith from the Guru Co. with another 5-10 minute cameo coaching set, self-coaching tools for everybody. Well, it's lovely to be back. I've had the most amazing time in Italy, and considering I have only been gone a few days, it feels like I have had a complete and utter rest. So it's been fabulous. Just that little bit of warmth, not heat, warmth. It has just done me the power of good. So I would have liked to have done some lives over there, but in actual fact, I invested in me and my daughter's time, which was fabulous, and I wouldn't have missed it for the world. So first tip of the day, if you can invest in somebody you love, do it. Please do it, because it's wonderful. Anyway, today's coaching set has very much come out of my trip to Italy, and I see my trip to Italy as being in the land of communication, and wow, what communicators. And it got me thinking just how much our reservations and how reserved we are actually probably affects an awful lot of our outcomes and our success rates. Now, bearing in mind, I have no Italian. I'm terribly ashamed to say that. I don't really have a grasp of any other language other than our mother tongue. So when I go away, it's very much about translation books and phrase books. Slightly better at French just because I did French at school, which was many moons ago. But anyway, Italy. Well, I think the reason why I am so enthused by this is that not knowing the language has actually slowed me down, and it's slowed my thought processes down, and it's made me think about how I have put words together and what my outcomes were, what I was actually intending my communication to be. And this is somewhere where I think we are so very lazy because we already know, or we think we know, and we expect people to then second guess or be on the same wavelength as us. And of course we're not. We're all hooked up in our own lives. So from this, what I've done is I've thought about this, and I think, well, I get my phrase book and I check it and I double check it, and then I look at what I've got, and then I spell that word out, and then I double check it back there. And then of course you launch into this ridiculous Italian accent that comes from somewhere. And they look you straight in the eye. The Italians are very good at looking at you, and they use their hands a lot. And yet they don't do many words when you actually think about it, because a lot of it's all about this. And often I sit on my hands because I think I do a little bit too much of this, and it can be off-putting for people. But yeah, so I launch into this sort of ridiculous, broken Italian, and they answer you in English, thank God. But isn't that sweet, and isn't that powerful that somebody actually tries to communicate with you? It's not all one-sided. And I think that's my first lesson. Don't allow somebody's language or communication with you to just be one-sided. Don't leave them with it. Engage, come back with them, seek out what it is they're actually after. Don't just expect it all to be them. Although I, as you all know probably by now, I'm a great believer that we should be responsible for all our communication. And the true meaning of that is in the outcome that we get. So, but I do think it's this double-sided stuff that I really, really, really would like to sort of get you to think about. And I watched these beautiful Italian people and their facial expressions, and they, even in the streets, when we sat outside having coffee for a very lengthy sort of 3-hour session, it was wonderful, and watching people, and when they stopped, they embraced, and they looked at each other, and their bodies were facing each other. And that's a very powerful way of communicating with each other, because you actually are only focused on that one person. You're absorbed in that one person and that one time. And even when groups of people, they turned to each other and watched each other. And it's a huge lesson for us, because over and over again, when I got back to to the airport in England, and I watched people, and they were looking around all the time while somebody was talking to them. You could see that they were on hot bricks because they needed to move off and go somewhere because it was about them, so fully absorbed in their own lives. So my suggestion here has really come out of this experience. But to top it off, I was on the bus back to Norfolk from Stansted, and a woman just appeared down the centre aisle, and she had a northern accent, and she said to the driver, "I'm on the wrong bus." And you know, my heart flipped for her, and my stomach churned, and she had bought a ticket to where she thought was Meadow Hall, which is in Sheffield, and someone across the desk sold her a ticket to Milden Hall. So when she went up to the people on the buses and said, "Is this my bus?" they read her ticket, and it was the bus for the ticket, but it wasn't the bus for her. And I thought, wow, this is where we go so wrong. We're in such a hurry. We think we know where we're going. We think other people know where we're going. And this poor woman then was dropped off on a freezing cold night in the snow, in the dark, in Newmarket, where she didn't have a clue, and then had to get 3 trains to get home. And my heart just went out to her, and I thought, my God, if this isn't a lesson. So slow down, everybody, today. Slow down. Read what you've asked for. Make sure what you are going to. Good morning, Kaylee. Make sure where you're heading for and heading to is what you have asked for. It'll be worth your while. You will get there quicker. So slow down. So I was thinking, for parents of children, don't use all your language. They don't need it all. They need your eyes on eye level. They need that facial expression. They need the gestures. They need you to be fully in tune with them. So don't rush around just hollering orders. See if you can't slow it down, and you might have a better start to the day, and so might they. Anybody meeting clients, colleagues, customers, face them, actually absorb them, take in what their facial expressions are like, shake their hand, make that contact, and I bet they'll leave a much happier person, and I think you'll enjoy your day better. That's really the tip of the day. Communication. Make sure that you're on the same level, on the same page. Check it out with people. Don't just take it for granted that everybody knows what we mean. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day. It's lovely to be back and in the throes of things. And yeah, I'll see you in a couple of days' time. Bye-bye.